Let us begin. Today is the 14th day of the first month in the 9th year of Channel Group, February 25, 2021. To begin our day, let's offer our respect and gratitude to our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and all humankind. 천진 천부모님께 경배. 바로 가족맹세.
가정맹세 1. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본향 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이상인 지상 천국과 천상 천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다. 2. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 천주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 충신, 세계에서는 성인, 천주에서는 성자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 3. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 4대 심정권과 3대 왕권과 황족권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 4. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님의 창조 이상인 천주 대가족을 형성하여 자유와 평화와 통일과 행복의 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 5. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 매일 주체적 천상세계와 대상적 지상세계의 통일을 향해 전진적 발전을 촉진화할 것을 맹세하나이다. 6. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님의 대신 가정으로서 천운을 움직이는 가정이 되어 하늘의 축복을 주변에 연결시키는 가정을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 7. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 본연의 혈통과 연결된 위하는 생활을 통하여 심정 문화 세계를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다. 8. 천일국 주인 우리 가정은 참 사랑을 중심하고 천일국 시대를 맞이하여 절대신앙, 절대사랑, 절대복종으로 신인의 일체 이상을 이루어 지상천국과 천상천국의 해방권과 석방권을 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
For the opening prayer, may I call our brother Jude Cedric Montifor from IAYSP.
Good morning, brothers, sisters, leaders, elders. Please join me in my prayer. 사랑하는 하늘 부모님, 순례하신 순지인 진 부모님, 감사합니다. 사랑합니다. Thank you, Heavenly Parent, for this wonderful morning that you have given us and you have guided us as one family really looking at you for inspiration, for love, and to offer you our filial piety in this beautiful tradition that you have given us. May we gather as one and unite as one in looking at you for this brand new day of salvation, Heavenly Parent. May this heavenly tradition of Funduke become uh, more substantial in the way of love, Heavenly Parent, so that we can go march forward today with a heart of victory, with a heart of really filial piety, and doing everything to build the substantial Chunalgok, Heavenly Parent. We thank you for everything that you have given us. But Heavenly Parent, we know that we sometimes have lacking, we have sometimes limitations, Heavenly Parent. But Heavenly Parent, please, we will do our best for us to reach the perfection, for us to reach the status of your filial children, for us to become the person that you will be proud of, Heavenly Parent. Please, Heavenly Parent, help us so that we can become your children, your filial children that will say, Heavenly Parent, Father, Mother, please don't worry about anything because we will do our best to make you proud, Heavenly Parent. Even though the path may be hard, even though the path may be uh, narrow, we will still be grateful no matter what. Centered on the heart of filial piety, centered on our true mother, we will become victorious each and every day, especially on the goal of building a substantial journal book on Vision 2027. Heavenly Parent, may you guide us toward this day. May you give us substantial inspiration, and may we in turn give you the love and beauty, Heavenly Parent, that you have given us. And as always, with a heart of piety, with a heart of sincerity, in true penance, I pray, adieu.
Adieu. Let us offer our unison prayer. Adieu. Let us offer our greetings to our Heavenly Parent and True Parents. Good morning, Heavenly Parents and Suppliants, to our beloved national leader. Good morning. And to all our leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters, good morning. Good morning to all our brothers and sisters in the center. You may now take your seat. And good morning to everyone. Welcome to our morning devotion. Let us begin with our conduct reading. Let us welcome our sister Mariah Aparece.
Good morning, leaders, elders, brothers, and sisters. A reading from the book Mother of Peace, Chapter 3, The Marriage Supper of the Lamb.
Mariah, make it louder. Thank you.
After the ceremony, Father Moon and I, as husband and wife, ate at the same table for the first time. It goes without saying that newlyweds expect to go on a honeymoon and dream of their cozy life together. But it was not so with us. Our thoughts were fixed only upon God and the Church. Nonetheless, I treasured every glance we shared and felt a love infinitely profound, a holy love that we wished to bequeath to all humankind. We then changed into bright Korean traditional wedding outfits, and my husband and I sang and danced to return glory to God, enjoying a merry time together with the members. When the members called for the bride to sing, I sang a song called When the Spring Comes. When the spring comes, azaleas bloom in the mountains and meadows. Where the azaleas bloom, so does my heart. Spring signifies freshness and newness. I love spring, as it is the season of hope. Spring brings with it the expectation that as we leave the cold winter behind, our days will be vibrant with life. It awakens our dreams. As I sang, I was thinking that the history of the Unification Church should begin anew with this coming of spring. The appearance of the family of the true parents on earth, that they flung open a new door in the history of God's dispensation. The day of the holy wedding ceremony, conducted after we had lived through perilous years, was the day of God's greatest delight. In the New Testament's book of Revelation, it is written that the marriage supper of the Lamb will take place when the Lord comes again at the end of times. That prophecy was fulfilled by the holy wedding, by which the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter, lost at the beginning of human history, were brought together as bridegroom and bride and anointed as the true parents. As we were joined as husband and wife, I made a firm resolution in front of God. During my lifetime, my beloved husband and I will bring to a conclusion that the history of the providence of restoration through indemnity, during which God has laboriously toiled. I know that what hurt God's heart more than anything else are the religious conflicts that take place in His name. Without fail, we will end them. A small boat on heavy seas. In the side streets and workplaces of South Korea, people were whispering out of worry, anxious over the fate of their nation. Doesn't it feel like something is about to happen? One would say, to which his friend would respond, I feel the same way. We live in troubled times. If only there were someone who could set this world right. I was sure such worries would soon dissipate. The year of our holy wedding ceremony, 1960, was a turning point, for great changes were taking place both at home and abroad. In South Korea, the people's longing for democracy burst forth, and they ousted the authoritarian Liberal Party. Overseas, John F. Kennedy was elected President of the United States, and we felt the way opening towards a new era. But history is never that simple. The rifts of the Cold War grew deeper. and conflict worsened between the communist realm and the free world. A flame of popular outcry for democracy flared up in the Soviet bloc nations of Eastern Europe, but the state crushed its advocates, and the fire grew dim again. It seemed that the time for peace was not yet at hand. People continued praying for a true leader to appear. Great changes also were taking place for the Unification Church. Virtually the whole of Korea had stood in opposition to our church, with Christianity issuing the most scathing criticisms. But now, on the foundation of embracing a young woman leader, the true mother, we began ecumenical dialogues and transitioned from Christian denomination to global religious movement. Our members prayed that we could be a beacon, shining forth a new hope of salvation. In particular, women who so long have been oppressed perceived that a true women's movement was being set in motion. 3 days after the holy wedding ceremony, my husband and I visited Juan Farm in Incheon, not far from the border with North Korea, with several members. We planted grapevines and ginkgo and selkova trees. As I planted a young sapling, I offered a prayer. May you grow well and become a big, strong tree that will bear the fruit of hope for the people of the world. I was not praying only for that particular tree, but for the success in the mission given to my husband and me. As a tree provides people with fruit as well as shade, so should we and all people of faith. From the outset, high waves and strong winds battered the small boat of our newly married life. Fortunately, I was prepared for that. It is said that newlyweds know nothing but happiness, but that was not our main purpose. My husband and I were not in a position to focus very much on our personal contentment. Our first living space was a small, sparsely decorated room at the back of Chongpadong Church. On one side, it connected to the chapel, and on the other to the tiniest of courtyards. Our kitchen was small and old-fashioned, with a rough cement floor. I cooked for my husband in that kitchen, which was always smoke-filled from coal briquettes. From the first day I prepared his meal, I was quite at home in that kitchen, which was similar to many my little family had occupied. I was quite deft with a cutting knife, even though my hands were cold. When people saw me preparing the various dishes without much trouble, they were surprised. Until a few weeks prior, they had thought of me as only a teenage nursing student. The church was always crowded with members, and my husband and I seldom spent time by ourselves. In such a public setting, Father Moon and I would sit across from each other and talk about our plans for the world. Members would show concern and say to us, "Please, you really should eat now." We would look at the clock and often see it was 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and we hadn't given a thought to lunch. I focused on the many tasks that would be entrusted to me in the future. I realized that not only Korea but also the rest of the world was expecting me to extend my helping hand. Beginning with our first daughter, Yejin, I gave birth to children one after another. The church headquarters that served also as our home was a small and poorly insulated Japanese-style house, and I suffered postpartum ailments as a result of delivering babies there. I was young, but as women have done from time immemorial, I quietly endured the pain of childbirth. Within my heart, Heavenly Parent was present at every moment. No matter how difficult the situation and surroundings, I was filled with joy. Never for a moment did I lack the helping hand of God, working His miracles in the background. Within a few years, our small quarters were filled to bursting with our many children. Perhaps that is why they grew up loving and caring for one another. I consider them to be miniature expressions of God. I would kiss their cheeks and chat affectionately with them, and I prayed for them ceaselessly. I knew that God comes to dwell in the home where parents and children are harmonious. Even before our wedding, with God's providence at the forefront of my mind, I resolved to have 13 children. Today, people look at you askance if you have many children. But I saw that God wanted 12 to signify the perfection of east, west, north, and south. When you add one corresponding to the central position, you get 13, which opens the way for the continued development of the providence to its ultimate conclusion. God's dispensation for the salvation of humankind is not something that happens in one generation. To carry it out, God has sought out and established central people throughout history. 2,000 years ago, how did God send Jesus, his only begotten Son without original sin, to this earth through the people of Israel? The Bible records that God had to restore a pure lineage in several stages. There are unresolved issues connected to this lineage that I must set straight during my lifetime. And so I set to recover and rightly establish the lineage of goodness centered in heaven. In order to give rebirth and resurrection to this complicated lineage and thus transform it into the true lineage whose center is God, I willingly took the risks that come with pregnancy and childbirth, including managing the birthing pains that put a woman's life in God's hands. I gave birth to 14 children over a period of 20 years. The first 4 were born in our small private quarters at Chongpadong. It was not until my 5th child that I was able to go to a hospital. Though it tasked my body, I gave birth to children year after year. Our second daughter died a few days after her birth. Our final 4 were delivered by cesarean section. It is rare for a woman to go through a C-section more than once. When I said that I would undergo it for the 3rd time, my doctor hesitated, saying it was dangerous, especially for a woman of my age. The doctor did not understand how I could insist so calmly on having another C-section, and he wanted to explain the issue to my husband. I assured him that my husband would agree with me, and I went through it for a 3rd and then a 4th time, thus fulfilling the promise I had made to God. My husband, being a charismatic spiritual leader, sometimes received unwanted attention from women. True.
True. Let us give a hand to our Heavenly Parent and true parents, and to our sister Mariah for the reading. Thank you, Mariah. Now for our 10 points of gratitude, let us welcome our sister Rylin May Leharde of IAYST.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Heavenly parents and true parents. Good morning, Sir LA. Good morning, leaders, elders, and brothers and sisters. Good morning. So, for my points of gratitude, first, I would like to thank our heavenly parents and true parents. First of all, kasi of course, for giving us new life and for a new day, especially for every one of us, um, uh, for waking us up to continue our portion of responsibility. Next is I'm thankful that we are able to celebrate the 8-year founding anniversary of Chunaguk yesterday. So we were able to see True Mother and all her love and support to us yesterday. We have seen and witnessed how much she is working so hard for the Providence, and for everyone encouraging us to continue doing our responsibilities and our to continue supporting her in every step of the way. So next is I want to thank our Sir LA for always giving us guidance every morning, reminding us of our responsibilities in the Providence. So yes, every morning po, Sir LA really always gives us guidance, reminding us to what to do, this and that, our responsibilities, and it's not easy to handle a nation. So I'm really grateful for Sir LA for making things giving us encouragement every single day para naman all of our brothers and sisters can be inspired each and every day to do their portions of responsibility. Next is to all our leaders, to our elders, our brothers and sisters who are here joining our Hondukia today. I'm grateful for every one of you because it means that you also really wanted to get inspired by whoever or ano man yung message na ibibigay today ni Sir LA. And yeah, thank you also for your hard works. Ayun. And to our hardworking staff, sa kitchen team, to our working staff who have worked so hard, especially for our previous activities. Yes, to all the work
Dadaan kasi coding ako ngayon.
to all our working staff. Ayun, we can, especially dito sa HQ, nakikita namin kung gaano ka-hardworking po yung mga staff dito. Everyday po, they have things na kailangan nilang tapusin, and also to our kitchen staff here are always working hard, providing us good food. Ayun. So, yes, and salamat din sa lahat ng mga staff ng centers because you are also taking care of our members, our elders. So ayun. And for IAYSP team, I am very grateful because every day po kaming may almost every day po kaming may meeting and or Zoom with our chapter presidents and members, and also meetings with NYC for our proposed programs. And I'm grateful kasi makikita mo talaga na they have been really working so hard, planning new things, new programs for the youth, and also for mga young ones, mga young at heart. So our YSP team is constantly working so hard, making proposals, planning programs, kung ano yung pwedeng ma-propose natin sa other regions for easier witnessing, and also for the youth to be able to, participate sa mga activities ng IAYSP. And then, I just sincerely want to thank everyone for their hard works. And without all your determination, God and true parents wouldn't be moving forward with the providence. Especially sa mga elders natin who have really paved the way for all of us. Now we cannot imagine the hard work, and we cannot imagine kung anong dapat nilang pagdaanan para lang ma-pave yung way natin today, which is, we have compared dati, they have a lot of persecutions, although tayo kahit may konting persecutions naman, but it's very different from the past na kailangan pagdaanan ng ating elders. So I'm really grateful for that sa mga hardworking nating brothers and sisters all over the world, kahit nasa ibang bansa sila or kahit nandito man sa Pilipinas. They're really showing their continuous support through contacting mga focal person dito sa HQ or sa other chapters or centers para lang makapag-contribute, like ano po yung magagawa ko or ano po yung makukontribute ko for this event. So yun, sa lahat ng mga brothers and sisters, thank you so much. And then lastly, I wanted, despite the pandemic, we couldn't see each other face to face, but we're still able to connect through technology. It is in these times that I am so grateful that the pandemic has taught us to value connections and relationships with people. So ayun nga, aside from the internet, I am also very thankful din sa technology that we have today. Dati hindi po tayo basta-basta lang po makapag-send ng message. We have to go through a lot of things, magpadala po ng sulat. But now, isang click lang po, we can be able to communicate and be able to connect with our brothers and sisters like ginagawa natin ngayon through Zoom. So, I am grateful for the technology that we have kasi yun nga, despite of the pandemic, we are still able to connect. And also, parang naging blessing in disguise na rin yung pandemic. Of course, I'm not grateful na may mga taong nawala or something na naging infected ng virus. But, you know, the pandemic taught us a lesson to value connections, especially sa mga taong importante sa atin ngayon. Dati kung the way of showing our care to our families or our friends is to, you know, give them um physical love, you know, like hinahag mo sila, kailangan mo silang i-kiss like sa parents mo, mga ganun na things like physical affection. But now the way to show your care to everyone is to stay away or keep your distance. So parang it taught us na well, it's like we took for granted the times na mga na nakasama natin yung mga taong importante sa atin, and now we cannot be close with them kasi kailangan natin mag social distancing. So ayun, nabavalue natin yung connection between the relationship within our family, sa ating mga, you know, other people, mga friends natin. Especially ako, nami-miss ko na din yung family ko sa Bohol. So, ayun, it really taught me na to communicate kasi talaga ako mahiling makipag-chat din sa mga ko. So, but now it's not like I was forced, but I was able to, you know, connect more with them. 2016 when I started. So, the things they have taught me, the things na naiwan nila sa akin as I grow with my life of faith din dito sa movement. Every day may struggle, but I am grateful for our elders, our brothers and sisters. Sa mga struggles na pagdaanan ko, I am grateful for them. Kasi for it because ayun, we cannot be able to learn things the easy way. Kailangan talagang parang some way, somehow, life always finds us to to give us struggles. Kasi kung hindi tayo struggle, hindi din tayo mag-grow. Yan yung palaging sabi ng elders natin and our true parents. So, ayun, I think I have nothing much more to say. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Sister Riley, for sharing. Let us give a hand to our Sister Riley. Yeah, she is one of the staff here in IAYSP National Office. Yes, thank you, Riley. Now, for more inspiration and guidance, let us welcome our beloved national leader, Reverend Leo Angelo Hado.
Thank you very much, our sister Yab. Good morning to our Heavenly Parent and true parents. Good morning to all our beloved leaders who are joining us today. All our Blessed Central families, all brothers and sisters, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Annyeong hashimnika, ohayo gozaimasu. Yeah, so today is another day. It's really good to see everyone. Now we started to check the attendance, and then the other day we have about 600 participants, 600 brothers and sisters who are joining our Hondoke nationwide, and including brothers and sisters in Korea, in Japan, also in America, Hong Kong, in Nepal. So it's really great to come together and attend our Heavenly Parent and True Parents, and together we learn and study True Parents' words. So yesterday po we have celebrated together the birthday of our beloved true parents and the 8th anniversary Foundation Day. And I know everybody is really very inspired, especially with the message of our beloved true mother. So after we can have the copy, we will be sharing that one, the copy of True Mother's message. And True Mother really emphasized, and then in the last part, True Mother shared to us her wish that she wanted us to really become really filial sons and daughters, become true sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent, become Chonbo families. So True Mother really, you can feel True Mother's heart of longing to really fulfill the goal by 2027 and really restoring all children through the blessing and then really becoming Chonbu families. This is the only way for us to be able to really connect to Heavenly Parent and our beloved true parents. And also yesterday we have two VIPs, the Dan Burton's couple, and also the former president of uh, Paraguay. Already they are blessed families and really, really so moving. Actually, they're testifying about our beloved true parents and how much they were moved with our true parents' work. Really amazing, and also yeah, a lot of wonderful performances yesterday. Really moving, especially for the young people also that the singer is saying that he spent our youth together with our true parents. So also really thinking deeply about this, our life, our many young people in the Philippines, they are spending our members, they're spending their youth with our true parents. What else could be greater than this? We are spending our life really with our beloved true parents, and especially now with our beloved true mother, who is still with us. Really, we are very fortunate and really lucky people. So no matter what, we need to fulfill our responsibilities, even though it's not easy. Mother said that it's painful, like the snake shedding its skin. We need to transform. True Mother said yesterday, we need to transform ourselves. We like the snake that we need to go through, even though it's painful, it is necessary for us. Putting new wine into new wine skin. So really, we have to go forward and really go beyond what we can and really change our mindset and really move forward until the day that we can truly build substantial channel book. So we are really thankful to our beloved True Mother. Yeah. So today I will be sharing this topic entitled so today I will be sharing this topic entitled Purity of Intention. So I would like to start. So our true father said, our motivation is important. Why did you come and sit in this room this morning? Are you sitting here and listening to my good message so that you can become a great person? Or are you sitting here and listening to my message because you want to make the church prosper and make America great? Which is your reason for being here? The former or the latter? After listening to me now, those of you who came with the first motivation have converted to the second. You prove that by your laughter. So because Father gave this in America, so Father is asking the audience that time, what is the reason why they came. So today, True Father is telling us our motivation is really, really important. So if our motivation is just for ourselves, why we are learning the principle, why we are knowing all these things, is it only for us to become great person, or we wanted to really, help Heavenly Parent? We wanted to really help true parents. So it's really important, Father said. So what is our reason? But before, with all the educations of our beloved true parents, in the beginning, maybe many brothers and sisters also, when we join our movement, in the beginning we have different motivation. But as we go through, as we learn continuously, then our motivation change, right? So we have these experiences, especially like we have our IPLC. When people come to IPLC, actually they are not members. Most of them are, they just go through in order for them to study in IPLC, they need to study the principle. But the motivation is different in the beginning. They just came to study, right? And also some who join in the church, maybe because of relatives invited them. So our motivation is different in the beginning. But as we learn and study and understand more deeply, then our motivation started to change. That's why when you have already the right motivation, then whatever challenges, whatever difficulties, you can overcome. But if your motivation is wrong, when challenges and difficulties comes, then what happens? We give up, we run away, right? But if you have the proper motivation, you wanted to really support true parents or true mother. When we look at true mother this time, and then we can see that true mother is already getting old. True mother is already 78 years old. And then we can see true mother is not, she is already limited physically. So we can, what is in our heart, we wanted to really support our beloved true mother, that in true mother's lifetime, we can really fulfill the dream of our beloved true mother, comforting our heavenly parent and our beloved true father. So that's why our motivation in whatever we do, in everything that we do, what is important is our motivation. It should be centering not on ourselves, right? It should be always for the greater good, for the greater purpose. So that is really important. True Father said, the goal of our faith should be to bless the world. People who believe in religion for their own benefit stop believing when they receive blessings, because their goal of faith was to receive blessings. After enjoying their blessings for a time, they fall away from God. You should be different. The goal of your faith in God should be to bless the world, because that is what God wants from you. So what is really the goal of our life of faith? Of course, I need to improve myself, need to develop myself, I need to build good family, but it doesn't end there, right? So what is really Father is saying here, people who believe in religion, who always, pray and ask for blessings, once they receive blessings, their goal of faith, after they receive that, what happened? They stop believing already after they receive blessings. So because their goal is just to receive blessings, they're always praying. So once they receive that already, so their goal is just there. So if our goal is just also to build ideal families, so when we have our own ideal family, already we stop there, right? That is part of our ultimate goal. In order to fulfill our ultimate goal, this is the process we need to go through. But this is not the goal, right? This is not just the goal to build ideal families, our own families, but to be able to bless the world. Father said, this is our goal. What is the goal of heavenly parents? What is the goal of true parents? This should be our goal as children. That's why as children, we need to understand the heart of our parents. Tayo physically also. That's why really true parents teaching is really amazing. If you are like confused of some things, or you cannot understand things, go back to your own family. And then you can understand what true parents is saying, right? As children, what is the desire of your parents? You need to understand what is the desire of your parents, right? Without understanding the desire of your parents, you cannot become filial son or filial daughter. That's why heavenly parents and true parents, heavenly parents wanted to give the blessing to the world, all people, all mankind. That's why our goal should be also the goal of our heavenly parent. That's why we cannot just stop. Already I've grown a lot. I have my good family already, and even I have already my tribe. I'm making my tribe. Also, it doesn't end there, right? Continuously, our goal is to really the whole world, all people, all mankind. I think this is really important to have this kind of mindset. Father said, if you want to restore a nation, you need to think about the world. If you want to restore the world, you need to go beyond the physical world. You need to think about the cosmos. This is really important, right? That's why, for example, our brothers and sisters, many, we just, we came from broken families. We just desire to build ideal families. Actually, to build ideal families without thinking about nation, you can never establish ideal family. You can never establish ideal family. You need to think about the tribe, right? You need to think about the nation. That is the only way. Many people, they just focus really with the family, and then very difficult. They cannot make one. They cannot build one ideal family because they are just thinking about that, right? That's why our mind should be beyond what we wanted to really, accomplish. So Heavenly Parents' desire is to really bless the world, bless the cosmos. That's why it opens up also the blessing to the spiritual world. Now we are doing the blessing of our ancestors. Really, this is the goal of our Heavenly Parent and our true parents. So as people who follows true parents and members of the Unification Church, that's why even though we are blessed already, we cannot stop there until all people can be blessed, until all the ancestors and then the people in the spiritual world will be blessed. So our goal is the goal of our Heavenly Parent. So Father said, those who has a grateful heart enter heaven. This is interesting. Father is saying here, when I visited the spirit world, I saw that the martyrs who died in order to enter heaven did not enter heaven. Rather, those martyrs who died with a grateful heart entered and dwelled there. This is important. So we are thinking, that's why, we receive many guidance about this. We are thinking, we are sacrificing, we are doing this. For whom? For what? That's why the motivation is really important. So Father is saying here, many martyrs, they thought that when they die, when they just die, they will enter heaven. But Father said when he visited the spiritual world, he didn't see these martyrs who died in order, they didn't see them in heaven. Because their motivation is just to enter heaven. They thought they're sacrificing, they're doing this, so I can enter heaven with this kind of motivation. Then they didn't enter heaven. Rather, Father said, those martyrs who died with a grateful heart entered and dwelled there. They went the way of martyrdom with this heart. God walked a suffering path to find me. He shed his blood for me. I will go anywhere and do anything to repay God for his grace. That's why this is very important. All of us, we were blessed, most of us now. So, how difficult it was for Heavenly Parent to look for us, to look for our true parents. Tayo rin, to look for us true parents, shed blood, tears, Father said. That's why tayo rin now, how grateful we are. That's why we want to pay back in any means, in any way. Because this, we learned, blessing, this is the most important, and then it's not easy for us to receive this. And then how much Heavenly Parents have sacrificed, really have worked hard for us to receive the blessing. So ngayon tayo rin, what should be our motivation? Now I am blessed. What should I do? Right? Will I just, live for my own family, just raise up my own children? Will just this be my life as a blessed family, as blessed couple? Right? So in our hearts, how grateful we are. And then we want to give everything back to Heavenly Parents. We are not thinking actually of going to heaven, but we are thinking how to give back, how to repay this grace, this unimaginable and incredible grace I received. With this kind of mind, you will be willing to do anything, right? Whatever difficulties, you will going to overcome. That's why if we just have this grateful heart, this is what Father is saying. Actually, you can overcome any situation. Instead of looking of situations negatively, you will always look at things positively. You will always keep a grateful heart. If we have this kind of understanding, if we have this kind of mindset, that this is an amazing grace I received, my entire life I cannot pay this. There's no amount of money I can pay this. Even I worked hard my whole life, my entire life, I cannot pay this grace and blessing I have received. With this kind of mind, even though you don't want to enter heaven, for sure you will enter heaven when you go to the spiritual world. Aju, instead of people who are working, they are doing their best for them to enter heaven. But without thinking going to enter heaven, but giving everything because we are very, very grateful to Heavenly Parent. And then thinking that we cannot pay this grace that we have received. This kind of mindset we need to have. Aju? That's why kahit ano pa, minsan, yung mga na-experience po natin sa buhay. Minsan, we are being persecuted, we are rejected, or kung ano-ano pa na mga unnecessary situations we are experiencing. But with this kind of mind and heart, you will move forward with a grateful heart. Aju, with this understanding. And then, Heavenly Parents can be with us. Heavenly Parents can be very happy, right? And then, whatever difficulties sa pamilya natin, kahit saan pa, kapag may ganito tayong understanding, we will overcome anything. Aju, and always feel that what we are doing is not enough. What we are doing is not enough. And then never we will be arrogant, right? Kapag may ganito tayong heart. And then we can always be on the right path. Right? Aju? That's why this is really very important. How to always have a grateful heart and always feel that really the grace and blessing we receive, we cannot pay even in our whole life. Father said, we cannot enter heaven by insisting on ourselves. For whom did they die? Father said, those martyrs. Did they die for their own sake? No, they died for the sake of heaven and earth. On the other hand, those martyrs who thought, I will die like this because it is the path to heaven. For whom did they die? They died for themselves. As fallen people, we can never enter the kingdom of God by insisting on ourselves. That's why it's really important to think, centering on God's point of view. Live our life centering on God's point of view. This is actually the danger of our life of faith. When we are already learning many things about the principle, we thought we know everything already. We are even, we know more than our leaders, more than our elders, right? This is really the danger in our own life of faith. We thought we know already. I graduated from this university. I have my PhD. That's why we became so humanistic. This is the reality. This is the reality. We are how to grow spiritually. Sometimes we are focusing more with our, capability as a person, as a human being. But we, all of us are fallen human beings. Father said, as fallen human beings, we can never enter kingdom of heaven if we keep insisting on ourselves. We are not perfect being, right? That's why God works through a very clear pipeline. Actually, always I'm telling this. This is really, I can see, in IPLC, I was in IPLC for 10 years. My mission was there. And actually, I guided young brothers and sisters. Of course, I'm still, lacking of many things. But my mission is like this. Being with many brothers and sisters, being with people. That's why before I'm really praying all the time. How can we really raise up young brothers and sisters who can really, willing to die for Heavenly Parent and true parents? Willing to go on. So no, I was really inspired the other day when we had the Hunduke about also IPLC. I'm always praying the time. How can we raise up, someone who really are willing to go only this path, that is willing to give even their life for Heavenly Parent and true parents. Because when we study history, we learn these great people that really willing to give their life. So in our generation today, we need to have this kind of people, our young people today, that are really patriots and really sons and daughters of Heavenly Parent, just beyond the nation. That's why I'm thinking if we cannot raise up this kind of people, it's impossible to restore our nation. Kapag wala tayong ma-raise up ng mga kabataan na ganito. So when I was in IPLC, I was, with our young brothers and sisters, students for a long time, doing this training program. So I'm really praying a lot about this one. That's why hindi lang na nakasenter sa sarili natin, but really keeping absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience. If we can raise up these young people and then they will become leader for sure, we can restore our nation. I'm really thinking without just, thinking about our own selves, about our insisting our humanistic point of view. If we can raise up these people for sure, we can really restore our nation. That's why Father is telling us today, importante is how we look at God's point of view. That's why even though the providence has advanced already, these basic things should be always here. Should be always here. Kaya nga, we need to always honor this vertical line. Minsan nakikita natin because of the advancement ngayon, naging kwan na tayo, but actually these things doesn't change. These things are absolute. Right? These things are absolute. Sometimes we became so humanistic. And then only, discussing things based on, external things. We are not looking beyond. Actually, we are fallen human beings. We cannot really see exactly what's happening. We don't know what will going to happen after 3 years, 5 years from now, after 10 years from now. That's why we have to be always connected on God's, and look at God's point of view. This is really, really important. What can I see now? What many difficulties, brothers and sisters? Because sometimes we are just focusing with our own point of view, even myself. Sometimes, I'm thinking maybe this is the best thing. But actually need to, go through and check based on God's point of view. This is really important. People wanted to go to the kingdom of heaven. They just insist on their own. You cannot go to the kingdom of heaven. That's why this is really important now. Many brothers and sisters, they thought this is the right thing. They always insist. They always, yeah, it's good to discuss, but you need to listen from, your leader who is being used by heavenly parent, because God used through the central figure, and then start to, become in the object position, and then try to open your mind, try to open your heart. Then you will going to see what really God wanted you to do, right? So when we are confused sometimes, and then we are just, thinking on our own, then how can you receive God's guidance? You need to open your mind, you need to open your heart. Look at things not on your own point of view, but, try to open and look at God's point of view, right? Aju? Aju. So Father said, we have to offer devotion for the whole. When you offer sincere devotion, you must not offer it merely for your own work. Do you realize this? If your devotion is merely for your own work, it turns out to be just that. It is like asking God, who makes his sunlight shine over all the earth, not to shine it equally on everyone, but to shine it only on you. So when we are offering devotion, Father said, not only for our own self, but we need to always offer for the whole, Father said. So otherwise, it's like we are asking God that the sun will going to just shine on us and not for everyone else, right? That's why whatever we are doing now, not only for our own self, not only for our own families, not only for our own tribe, we have to always think that, what even how small it is we are doing, this is for the sake of heavenly parent, true parents, restoring the whole world. So we have to always have this mind of, the bigger, the wider, beyond our own self, beyond our own families. That's why, as true parents is teaching us. True parents, always think about cosmic level. So we need to really inherit this kind of mind and heart with our heavenly parent and true parents. So we have to always think of the higher purpose. Kahit ano pang ginagawa natin, kahit maliit lang yung ginagawa natin, even though sometimes we are just cleaning the centers. Even this is small things. This is not just only for us. These are conditions, right? For the world. So once these conditions are accumulated, we are working together with the same mind, with the same heart. One day, this will be accumulated. Then we will be amazed with the result. Aju, if we always think about the whole. So lahat tayo sa nation natin, even though we are in different areas, we have different tribes. But we are doing all these things not only for our own tribes, not only for our own families. We are all together thinking for the nation. Then one day this will really be accumulated. Then we can see later the result, the great result. So actually now, many things we can see now. Many things are happening in our nation after our rally of hope. Now, that's why ang young people po natin, our YSP, they're very busy. Now we are working now with the government. Of course, still we are in the first stage. But now really, these are the result already. Of course, we need to, continue to move, but already this kind of breakthrough, we never had this before. So this is already the result of all the investment, sacrifices of all our leaders and brothers and sisters. Now being accumulated now, really bearing fruit. That's why most important is our thinking, our mindset, to always think about the whole. Father is telling us today. So it's really important, our devotion, our sincerity for the whole. So Father said, we are representative of all humanity and God. Hence, you must have the presence of mind that you are praying as a representative of all humanity, even representing God. When you pray representing God, when you offer your sincere devotion representing God, you must try to imagine how much sincere devotion God Himself has been offering throughout providential history and continues to offer even now. So that's why we are here, all of us, we are representative of all humanity and our Heavenly Parent. Father said, hindi lang po sarili natin, hindi lang ang ating pamilya. Kailangan lagi nating iniisip pala talaga na we are representative of all humanity. And then we are representative of our Heavenly Parent. Father said, when you pray representing God, and then when you offer sincere devotion representing God, and then you can imagine, try to imagine how much sincere devotion God Himself has been offering throughout providential history and until this time. Can you imagine? For thousands of years from the moment Adam and Eve fell, how much Heavenly Parents continuously offering devotion until this very moment, even at the time now of true parents. So when we think about these things, then we can imagine how Heavenly Parent is offering sincere devotion. Then we can also be more serious in our life, right? How can I really comfort and really help our Heavenly Parent? That's why true parents could have this kind of determination because they fully understand. They fully understand our Heavenly Parent. If we are suffering, if we are in difficulty, these are all nothing when we started to understand Heavenly Parents, difficulty and suffering. Sometimes we are lamenting with our own situation, with our own difficulties. Ano ba naman ang buhay ko? Bakit ganito pa rin hanggang ngayon? I'm already 10 years, 15 years, 20 years in our church, 30 years already. Why is still very difficult? My course, my life, my family is still very, very difficult. When you started to understand Heavenly Parents' difficulties until this time, you will just, move forward with gratitude, right? You will never, complain. You will never have, these things in your heart. All these things will be eliminated when you start to understand how much Heavenly Parent is continuously offering devotion, without any complaint, without, any, thing, just thinking for himself, right? Always thinking about for the whole. So when we realize this, kahit ano pa pong pinagdadaanan natin ngayon sa life natin, sa family natin, we can surely move forward. And then we are thinking, God chose me first because I am representative of all humanity. I am representative of God. So my responsibility is to ease the pain of our Heavenly Parent, right? And then ease the pain of all humanity. That's why it's really important to really think beyond ourselves. Kaya minsan pag may problema tayo, kung ano-anong pumapasok sa mind natin, and then sa sarili na lang tayo nakafocus. That's the time, we are losing everything. Satan is cornering us. And then just let us just think about ourselves, about our own difficulties. And then until that time na magbago na yung mind mo, I need to go another way. Very difficult, this path, this course, right? That's why with our thinking, this is really important. Satan also works there. That's why if you always think that Heavenly Parent and true parents, we are the representative of Heavenly Parent, true parents, and all humanity, whatever challenges and difficulties, we can surely overcome. And lalo na po ngayong era na to, we are now in the final stage. Really, the last day of the last days, ibig sabihin, many confusions are happening now. Kaya nga now we are experiencing these things. That's why now, the most important is, dito na makikita talaga how faithful we are. Ano yung mga nalay natin in the past. We need to really become a tree that is really deeply rooted. What even typhoons will come, kahit ano pa pong pagsubok sa life natin darating, we have to stay strong and remain still, right? We should never leave our Heavenly Parent, our true parents. Ito na po yung time na yon. But anyway, after this, we can see really an amazing things that will going to happen. Aju? Kaya nga po ngayon, we have to remain, strong. We have to keep our faith. The more important ngayong era na to, we have to really keep our life of faith strong to our Heavenly Parent and to true parents. We will surpass this situation. We will surpass this very soon, right? And then we can really see the amazing results of the work of our beloved true parents and all the contributions of all of us and our families, brothers and sisters. Kaya nga po, actually, it will really end soon. Everything will be very clear later on. Kaya we don't need to worry even to our brothers and sisters. Tayo po, we just need to continue. Really sacrifice more. Or really work harder more. One day, everything will come to settle. And we can really see. Very soon. So Father said, God's sorrow is that He has no one with Him. So God's sorrow is that He has no one who will suffer with Him when He suffers and be sorrowful with Him when He is sorrowful. Though God has embraced humankind for thousands of years, He has suffered alone. He suffered injustice alone. and suffered sorrow alone. When he suffered hardship, he had no one with whom to share the hardship. When he was sorrowful, there was no one to share his sorrow. That is why God's suffering has been so great and his sorrow is so great. Can you imagine? You cannot really imagine, Heavenly Parent has gone through this course alone for thousands of years. This is really the sorrow of our Heavenly Parent. In the beginning, before the creation, God was so excited actually. He was so happy to see, Kingdom of Heaven one day, enjoying relationship with his children, with our first human ancestor. But, after the fall, Heavenly Parent was left alone. So he has no one. So how much, Heavenly Parent have invested to find someone who can understand him. 2,000 years ago, someone who can understand Heavenly Parent, Jesus Christ came. But what happens? He was crucified. And then he needs to wait again for another 2,000 years before true parents can be born. So really, this is the greatest sorrow of our Heavenly Parent because he is alone. But now, at least, when true parents came, true parents was alone, and then they started until our movement have grown until this time. We don't know already how many members of Unification Church now, our movement. How many are really, but of course with that number, that's why we are continuously, being educated and understanding how can we really understand Heavenly Parent. Then Heavenly Parent, when Heavenly Parent look at us, he can feel that we are really one with him. We are sharing the same hardships. We are sharing the same sorrow with him. How many of us, or even myself, how many already truly understand when True Mother can see us, the True Mother can feel that she's not alone. When True Mother see all of us, right? True Mother really is embracing all of us. Yesterday, before True Mother speaks, True Mother, telling us how much she loves all of us. Then how can we really always let our True Mother feel that she is not alone? That as long as I am alive, as long as I am here, as long as I have strength, I will always let True Mother feel. So based on how we are doing, fulfilling our everyday responsibilities, how we are doing our best to, fulfill our task to become Chonbo couples. And then as Chonbo couples, how can we multiply this and really encourage all our brothers and sisters, right? Really, everybody can become citizens of Channel Book. And then Heavenly Parents can, feel that, many are coming, and then our True Mother, the burden that True Mother is carrying, it will be lessened and lessened. Then True Mother can feel more, maybe relaxed somehow, that I have my children already have grown up. And then I can feel how much everybody is really working very hard, right? Everywhere in the world now, brothers and sisters are really working very hard, investing so much. So if we continue this kind of heart and dedication, and then we multiply continuously, then we can, comfort Heavenly Parent. We can comfort our true parents, our True Mother. Aju, that's why we are doing our best to raise up more young brothers and sisters who will going to take responsibility. Our VIPs to take responsibility. Also in the Philippines today, we're going to have a program of appreciation and recognition program for our partners. So also yesterday I called the DSWD. He confirmed, the director of the Bureau, Disaster Response Management Bureau, he confirmed, and then he called me. He is asking me what he will be sharing in these 3 minutes. So I feel now really our partners now, they are starting to really take ownership. This is what we are doing now. So with this, then we can lessen the burden of Heavenly Parent, the burden of true parents, and then true parents can feel more that, our team is becoming bigger and bigger, so the task will become easier and easier. Aju, that's why the sorrow of Heavenly Parent and will be also lessened. True Father's sorrow. If it's starting, now we NYC also starting to jive with us. Really government now is coming and working with us. So we can lessen the pain and sorrow of Heavenly Parent and true parents. The thousands of years, can you imagine? Heavenly Parents, thousands of years. This is his most, the heavy thing in his heart because he was alone. Aju? That's why this is now the time for us to move forward. Complete, encourage everybody, our brothers and sisters, all our brothers and our families. And then not only us now the government is involving in us. Really, This is now the golden era, the golden age that True Mother is talking about. Aju, that's why we are really so fortunate. Our Blood Central families, our brothers and sisters. We can really ease the pain and sorrow of Heavenly Parent and True Parent's heart. So Father said, we have to be one with God completely. Father said, Father, make thy heart and mind my heart and mind. Thy situation, my situation. Thy hope, my hope. Thine enemy, my enemy, and thy battle, my battle. May we be thy victorious offerings, sons and daughters, who make thy dream come true. So ultimately, we really need to understand fully Heavenly Parent's heart. That's why God's heart and situation. This heart of God in the time of creation, right? And then the time of the fall. And then the time of restoration. Kaya nga po tayo, previously we learned so much about these teachings. So how can we really understand in our everyday life the heart of Heavenly Parent, especially our True Mother's heart now in this second 7-year course? What is the heart of our beloved True Mother? Sometimes very difficult to understand God's heart. That's why we have our True Parents, right? We have our True Mother. So seeing True Mother, even though just online yesterday, we can really feel seeing True Mother, what is really in the core of True Mother's heart, what is really the wish. True Mother said at the beginning, my wish is for you to become God's sons and daughters, right? To become citizens of Chonilguk, to become Chonbu families. This is the wish of our beloved True Mother. How, True Mother is praying for this every day. I hope my children can grow up. My children can take responsibility. My children can really become the citizens. I can welcome them in my lifetime. I can honor them. They can, be inducted as true citizens of Chonilguk. How much, can you imagine this eager heart of our beloved True Mother, this earnest heart of our beloved True Mother? If we can understand this kind of heart, we will never relax, right? We will always find way. How can we fulfill our responsibility? That's why the key is understanding Heavenly Parents and True Parents' heart. That's why through our True Mother now. That's why, listening from True Mother, seeing True Mother all the time, even just in the video, we can feel, we can see from True Mother's face how, earnest True Mother is waiting and longing to see the world where all people can really live in joy and in happiness. How Heavenly Parent and True Parents can embrace all their children, that no one anymore is suffering, right? This is the heart of our beloved True Mother. Then people who are blessed now, who have been called, tayo, we are being called by Heavenly Parents, what we need to do in this time and age, in this golden time. What can we offer? Everything that we have now, we have to offer, and we really do our best beyond. Not thinking about our own self, about our own life. Even put our life on the line, right? This is what True Mother is really calling us for. That's why without understanding such a heart, we cannot, accomplish anything. That's why really the key is how to understand Heavenly Parents and True Parents' heart. With this kind of understanding, we will be willing to sacrifice anything. We are going to really work harder each day without, considering whether it is day or night, Father said, right? So really, our life now is to really, really see this kind of heart of our True Parents and Heavenly Parents, and then it will be natural for us to fulfill our responsibilities. Aju, that's why really we are really so fortunate. Really, we are living in the golden era. That's why no one should miss this. And then we can raise up our brothers and sisters, our young brothers and sisters, our young second generation. How can they see this heart of our beloved True Mother? All of us, right? And then with this kind of understanding, we will surely bring victory in our responsibilities, in our 5% portion of responsibilities. All the central families can really become Chonbu families, right? And our brothers and sisters, they will grow well, and then they will be blessed, and then they will become Chonbu families. Aju, they will become citizens of Chonbu until our entire nation, the whole world, right? That's why True Parents is really working beyond our imagination, even the entire spiritual world now. How much True Parents are really investing in the spiritual world. There are 500 billion, more than 500 billion already, right? But of course, without restoring the physical world, this is the most challenging in the physical world. But if we have this kind of mind and heart, miracles will surely take place. Kaya nga, yesterday we could see mga former heads of states, they are now the one testifying. And then that's why also I'm really grateful our president of IAPP in the Philippines, si Mayor Batawil. Si Mayor Batawil, he completed the 3-day ceremony. So now, he is like ngayon, he is always responding na when we send message sa kanya. Because of the 3-day ceremony, he could now be connected directly to Heavenly Parent, to true parents. And then, when they offer flower, they also greeted true parents, happy birthday true parents, congratulations. So, iba na talaga. So, once people, are connected already through the blessing, everything changed. That's why really tayo as people who have been called first, the really key is to really understand Heavenly Parents and true parents' heart. That's why we are continuously investing, offering our devotion, so that we can truly understand Heavenly Parents' heart, and naturally we can move and really fulfill our responsibility and also encourage others to do the same. Aju, so thank you very much to all our beloved brothers and sisters. Let us really continue offer our Jongsong and really bring comfort to our beloved True Mother. The True Mother can really feel that she is not alone, right? That Heavenly Parent is really not alone. We are always here. We are really willing to sacrifice even our life, right? During this time, there's nothing more valuable this time than fulfilling our responsibility. If we really need to fulfill our responsibility, even at the cost of our life, we have to do that, right? In this time with our true parents, in the second 7-year course, the subject is how can we offer our nation and really contribute for the reunification of North and South Korea and establishment of a heavenly world. This is the subject in us, more than our, even more than our life. This is the subject in us. This is, if we really understand, this is really the golden age. So only victory should be with us, no matter what. All of us need to become victorious. Aju? So with this, really wish all brothers and sisters to be always healthy, and really I pray that everybody can really fulfill our responsibilities and truly make our Heavenly Parent and truly Heavenly Parents and true parents proud of us, and really we can really become Heavenly Parents, true sons and daughters. So once again, thank you very much to all our leaders and brothers and sisters for joining today's morning devotion. May Heavenly Parents love and blessings be upon you and your family always. Thank you very much. Kamsahamnida, salamhamnida. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our national leader for that wonderful message this morning. If you receive it, let us give a hand to our Heavenly Parent and our true parents. Thank you so much. And to our beloved national leader, thank you so much, Sir L.A., for that message. Now we will proceed to our reflection sharing. To give her reflection, let us welcome the center leader in Kanay Church, Miss Jessa Libres.
Good morning, our Sir L.A., our brothers and sisters, especially our leaders also. Good morning, Sawadee ka. So I would like to share this morning about the internal guidance of our beloved national leader about purity of intention. So also, as a graduate of IPSC, so before I enter IPSC, of course, my first motivation is only to graduate. But then later on, when I graduate year 2018, I applied for matching first, and then when I received my spouse, my motivation really changed. Instead of focusing on my studies and I want to go for masteral, but then since I received my spouse, there's more responsibility. So I think for young people, it's really important, and it's really inspiring also that you will receive your partner because when you just think only for graduate, like for example, like that. So you want to take a job outside and then maybe you can find some work. But then if you have your partner, even just graduate from the fourth year college, but then you will see a greater like responsibility that you need to take, because not just you stand as the parent to your partner, at the same time you will look for a greater responsibility, that how can you able to maintain your relationship to heavenly parents and to parents, and that is taking responsibility, and especially in different mission. So also as a leader in IPSC, well, I always pag pumunta si Sir LA dito, lagi akong nagko-complain sa kanya, "Sir, bakit ako po yung nilagay niyo sa position that I'm not elder, since I was 22 years old at that time, since last year." So even though my heart is really want to complain for my responsibility as a church leader and the BFD and secretary, and also I have my responsibility in other country in Thailand, but then my heart is they want to change also the mindset for young people, especially in our college. So I know that some of you are not really good for IPSC, but it's really difficult for me also handling IPSC, because I'm not just educating our IPSC students, our Tunggal Muda practitioners, our faculty and staff, but then I also have my responsibility. We go to the area, HTM area, especially in Tanay Highlands. So kaya minsan pag may pupunta sa IPSC, hindi na ako makikita dahil nasa area pa ako ng HTM. We are educating also some blessed members. And then during the Typhoon Ulysses, ayun po, nagbigay kami ng relief operation coming from the donation also from our center and some HTM family. So yeah, if we look for the greater purpose, then God will truly bless us. So no matter what responsibility that we receive, if we have this grateful heart, of course, in the first place, hindi po maging easy. It's really difficult kasi you are taking responsibility for not just for the young members in our center, at the same time our elders. So how can I handle them? But then ayun, along the way of my responsibility, I think it's really exciting also as a young member who lead the center. So there's could be a great impact for young people especially. So True Mother emphasized this time that young people should take the lead. So I encourage all the youth, especially yung mga like the second generation and first generation, who will take the lead for the center. So kasi sino pa yung magli-lead sa center? So tayo yung na-raise up as talaga ng movement. So it means we need to take lead. So even those places na mga pioneer ba, so we need to take part of it, kasi it's really one way of how we could be able to make our True Mother happy. And kahit nagpipray tayo na please protect True Mother, but we don't take responsibility, then wala pa rin. Kaya as a young people and as a leader also, kahit na merong mga members na bugoy, mga stubborn, but then as a parent, I realized na you cannot give up on your children kahit parang sumigwi yan sila sa labas. So this time in our center, who is supporting our activity, especially mga holidays, it's actually IPSC alumni. So I did fundraising for them yung kahapon na event natin. So they are one of the sponsor for our holidays. Kaya meron kaming mga simple na handaan din for our true parents. So it doesn't mean that they are outside and then wala nang halaga sila. I think doctor yung emphasize also for us that we need to take care of them. So we cannot give up on them. So parang nilagay ko yung position ko doon as a parent to them na kahit nasa labas na sila, it's our responsibility pa rin. Kaya hindi man madali talaga maging responsible for those people na nasa outside. But this is one way on how we could restore them. So kahit hindi sila like nag-a-attend ng mga activity sa church natin, but through their donation, like yun yung parang way that their bridge na para makakonect sila sa pa rin natin sa movement. So kahit sa other center na ayun, mga members na umalis na. So I think we should pull them up. Kailangan silang ibalik because this is our true mother happiness na maibalik yung mga anak niya through sa ating movement. So this time also that in IPSC we have Japanese and caregiving course students. So mas nadagdagan po kami dito ng mga members. So parang naguho yung mundo kasi how could I handle them? So I need to educate them also to really understand. So not just to go to Japan and then work, but then they need to be educated na magiging member. So kung gusto niyo pong mag-take list sa IPSC, so you are welcome here. So this time kasi wala talaga akong yung main assistant for the church. So I'm handling 3 responsibility in other country also. So kahit na ganito lang tayo, mga simple young people, but then kailangan may impact tayo sa community natin, sa society. So I think I'm really grateful also sa aming spiritual parent. Kahit nasa Amerika siya, si Ate Merly. So siya po talaga yung great motivator sa amin na mga magkakapatid. So 7 kaming magkapatid, but then most of us are doing our mission. So I have my younger brother also taking the lead in Bohol province as a provincial instructor. So meron siyang 2,000 student sa Buena Vista Community College of Criminology. So kung mag-give up ako as an elder ate sa kanya, so nakakahiya naman, di ba, na my own younger brother are taking the lead. Also my younger sister in Sunwa, nagmi-mission siya. So lahat kami, kahit yung ibang ate ko and kuya. So it's really big impact also yung family niyo to support. Kaya kailangan niyo silang witnessan. Kahit mga bugo yan, kailangan niyo silang i-change yung mindset nila na kahit hindi sila member, they need to take part of the movement. So kahit magbigay lang sila ng pangkain. So kahit na walang sahod sa IPSC, we're happy. Kasi young people must create happiness sa mga tao na yung pag-ibap na sa buhay. So it's really natural na maka-feel ng struggle. Kahit naman ako na nag-take lead dito. So marami ding problema, mga bagyong dumadating sa buhay natin, and even walang madali sa restoration ng movement natin. But then kung tayo yung gagawa ng paraan at solution instead of complaining and blaming people, so wala talaga mangyayari. But then if we take lead and then take responsibility, taking initiative for the greater purpose, then we can prosper our movement, we can prosper our church. So yun nga, motivation is really important. So kahit gaano tayo ka yun nga, like a leader type people, but then kailangan pa rin ng magandang motivation. So there's one quote na gusto kong i-share din. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. Kaya nga, we need to be grateful everything for our responsibility. And I'm really proud as Bohol product ni Ate Merly, and also as IPSC na taking initiative here. So don't give up on your mission. So let's continue, especially sa mga young people. Let's march forward. Adu, kupon mak na ka. Thank you so much, everyone. Yun lang po.
Yes, thank you so much, Sister Jessa, for your sharing. Let us give a hand to our sister, Jessa. Thank you so much for your hard work, Jessa. Yeah, this time our beloved national leader will be traveling, going to Bulacan for a meeting. Let us offer our gratitude to our beloved national leader and let's wish him a success today. Sir, bye-bye. Manse, sister. Thank you po. Now, yeah, let's continue our reflection sharing. Let us welcome our brother Eric Panate.
So good morning, Heavenly Parent and our true parents. Good morning, our dear leaders, brothers and sisters around the world. Good morning to each and every one of you. So, by the way, my name is Eric. Um, our topic this time is about purity and intention. So upon hearing the message this morning given by our beloved national leader, I'm remembering those times that I'm still starting to build my life of faith to God and true parents. Those times is very hard, but as I understood through parents' vision that his only intention is to save humanity, his only intention is to help us, those people who doesn't understand the heart of God. I said to myself that no matter what happened, I will still continue. I will continue. No matter what the problems I may encounter in my life of faith, in my surroundings, I will continue. Because I find myself that I am needed. Only through parents alone, he cannot do this kind of things. That's why no matter what the struggle I've been through, I continuously move forward. I came also from IPLC. I was graduated 2014. Up until that time, I dedicated myself that no matter what happened, I will dedicate my mission, myself in my mission to not to waste the investment of our true parents. And of course, I felt also the heart of our leaders that they are willing also to follow true parents, and that's what I'm holding right now, brothers and sisters. This time I'm in LLTP, so I'm seeing those brothers and sisters that also starting to build their life of faith. My determination is to share all the love that I received to God and through parents, the blessing that I received to God and through parents, to reach these young people. Because as I understood, kung walang mag-stand, sino pala, kung sinong mag-continue, sino magiging heirs or follower or children of true parents. So, I just rather to choose myself na maging offering. So, and this time, brothers and sisters, my inspiration is this one. Kailangan kong maging Heavenly Tribal Messiah. Okay, so I'm on that process. I overcame those temptations up until I break through to get my match, to be matched, and then to be blessed. Year 2017. So my determination is to really lead by example, that no matter what happened, they will really see to me through my accomplishments, through my how I'm living my life. Yes, many brothers and sisters I witnessed along the way of my life of faith, along the way of my life here in the movement. I witnessed those brothers and sisters who really promised to go on. not to live through parents. I witness them. I make them as my determination. But it's sad to say because marami talagang nawala because of their self-interest, because of their only motivation by themselves. So sabi ko, I have my own also. Kailangan hindi ako magpadala sa kanila. I understood through parents' heart. Rather to just say many things, gagawin ko na lang no matter what happened. So this time, we are really taking care the younger brothers and sisters who are still building their life of faith through parents. My determination is to really show to them, to really lead them, lead them by example. So that is really my heart, that especially that this time, our true mother are not getting younger anymore. I need to really dedicate my prime of my life to the providence that later on, I can say that through parents' investment will not really be wasted. Marami na rin tayong elders that they're getting older because of their sacrifice to the movement. Ayaw kong masayang yon. And then, this time, talaga, a lot of brothers and sisters really kailangan ng mag-stand, mag-lead by example. So, I'm very happy this time because through parents is still giving me chance to have this responsibility. Later on, very soon, I will be starting my family also. My determination is to bring my spouse here in Philippines and to really become a model to all the younger brothers and sisters who are still building their life of faith. That kung ako magagawa ko, kung ako nagawa ko, kaya rin niya ng mga brothers and sisters. So I'm very thankful to really the leaders who are standing. So this is my determination. Their investment to each and every one of us will not really be wasted. So young people really must stand this time, especially through mother right now is really getting older. So that is really my heart. So thank you so much once again to our dear leaders who are not giving up as well to follow through parents' path. So thank you so much, everyone. That's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brother Eric, for sharing. Let us give a hand to our Brother Eric. He is also one of the leader in NLTP, National Leadership Training Program. Thank you, Eric. Now, for our final guidance, let us welcome our beloved Dr. Julius D. Malikdem, the Regional Vice President of Asia Pacific II.
Thank you so much. I would like to really appreciate our Kuya LA for his investment every day. I'm sure that our true parents really using him every morning and then touching us and also inspiring us, giving us, the always uniting us together every morning. This is really beautiful tradition. Thank you to all our brothers and sisters who have been sharing their hearts. I used to say when I was a lot younger, I used to say, thank you to our elders. You are our inspiration. But now I think it's already changing. I would like to say thank you to our young members, our young brothers and sisters, because you are the one that is really inspiring, your elders. And then especially like this time, like Eric is saying, like the foundation of the elders, elder brothers and sisters will not be wasted. It's very beautiful to hear this kind of determination from our younger brothers and sisters. Really, there is hope, right? Anyway, today we received so much beautiful guidance from true parents through our national leader, the purity of intention. Evil also starts from motivation. You know that, right? So fallen nature, because of our fallen natures, also evil emanates from that misdirected motivation. So the fall also started from wrong motivation. And so that is why if we are unable to recognize that our motivation is wrong, then we are in trouble, right? Because
Ganyan,
sometimes we
okay na.
sometimes we tend to justify our motivation, isn't it? Sometimes we think, oh, anyway, this is okay. So that is why it is usually caused by ignorance. Sometimes we call it false motivation or human-centered motivation. So that is why there should be a way how we can always check our motivation, how we can maintain the purity of our motivation. And we cannot do that without connecting to God. No, yesterday through Mother's message is very clear. We have to go back to our origin, no? God, our heavenly parent. He should be the source of our original motivation. So without uniting with the cause or the causal being of the universe, then it's very difficult really to purify our motivation. Every day, we are encountered with many decisions. Every day we make plans, we make decisions. So what should be the guiding, like checkpoint, how to check our motivation always? I remember in one meeting with members, True Father saw some of our sisters wearing makeup. And then, Father even asked them, very simply, very naturally, like just like a father. Father said, for whom do you put on your makeup? So he asked our sisters, do you put on makeup for yourself? Do you put on makeup for your husband? Or do you put on makeup for other men? Looks like very simple every day, making decisions. But even that true father is checking our motivation. So that is why how to purify our motivation. We have to understand that when God created us, already He has the pure original motivation for human beings. So we can never go wrong if we always connect to that original motivation of God, why He created us, to become the perfect object of God's love. So we always have to ask, if I do this, will I still become perfect object of God's love? If I become like this, will I still become a perfect object of God's love? Then, if we are guided by this, brothers and sisters, we will never go wrong. And so, always it will direct us to go the public way of life. Public means uh, always thinking of the whole purpose, overcoming and denying my self-motivated purpose. So this is actually very important. How we can always keep that connection with God's motivation in our life of faith. So always, as Kuya Eli said, we always have to think based on God's viewpoint. What would God do? If I do this, will God be happy? So our motivation should always be how to make God, our heavenly parents and true parents, happy. Then we will never go wrong. Aju, we will never go wrong. So that is why even Father asked, what is my motivation in behind the history of the unification movement? Why did I establish unification movement? Very simple. He said, in order to realize God's love for all humanity. Because so far, because of the fall, that love from God cannot be realized, cannot be substantiated, cannot be experienced by humanity. So our true parents' motivation, why I am doing this, why I started unification movement, because I want that love, that amazing love of our heavenly parents to be substantiated, not to be substantiated. And yesterday we heard again through Mother, that love of our heavenly parents, that we should put that into reality. That's why Mother said, God cannot wait any longer. We should not deny God that opportunity to give His love for all humanity. So that is why True Mother encouraged us yesterday and really wish that all of us can really think of what we can do this time to really bless people, to spread our Heavenly Parents' love for all people, fulfilling our mission, as tribal messiahs, become Chonbo couples, and spread the blessing for all people. So anyway, thank you very much, all our younger brothers and sisters. Very important is how you can always connect to God's motivation. How to do that? Father said, you cannot go in your life of faith alone. That's why we have elders, we have leaders, your central figures. So connecting to them, always you can check your motivation. Of course, you can always ask God directly, right? You can ask God directly through your prayers. But very important tradition that we have to keep, brothers and sisters, is your unity and your connection with your elders and with your central figures. And then that will be your guide in order to always check your motivation. So let's have a very victorious day today. As mentioned by our national leader, we'll be having a Zoom gathering in order to recognize and thank all our partners, all our VIPs and organizations who have helped us in our Rally of Hope in the Philippines. So this is a way for us to say thank you to them. At the same time, how we can work more with them. So please pray for the success of this activity this coming afternoon. So let's have a victorious day. Thank you very much. Kamsahamnida.
Thank you so much, Sir Julius, for that guidance. Let us give a hand to our Sir Julius Malikyan. Thank you so much,
Very
sir.
much.
Yes. And to all our young leaders who shared this morning, thank you so much. And may I request our Sister Jessa Libres for our closing prayer.
Please join me in my prayer. Sarangashinan Hanal Pumunim, Tanjin Champumunim. Our dearest loving Heavenly Parent and our victorious two parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, we thank you for this morning, Heavenly Parent, as we receive the guidance coming from our beloved national leader, our Sir LA, from the topic, purity of intention, Heavenly Parents. Truly, we are indebted so much, Heavenly Parents, that in every day of our life that we are guided by our leaders and could take part on how we could be able to really change our motivation, Heavenly Parents, our mindset into good in order for us to help the providence, especially in the golden era, Heavenly Parents, with our Mother. Heavenly Parent, we are truly indebted so much, and I hope that we could be able to repay all your hard works for us, and especially in restoring, not just in our community, but at the same time in throughout the world, Heavenly Parents, in our nation. Please guide each one of us, and especially from our elder brothers and sisters coming from the different centers in our country. And we pray for each one of us that we could be able to fulfill our responsibility, not just by duty, but with our heart, Heavenly Parents, to offer our life, to offer our heart for our beloved Mother. And as we go through for our mission, Heavenly Parent, please help also our elders that they are going to have their meeting, Heavenly Parents, today. And I hope that will be a success. And especially guide us also for our next event, Heavenly Parents, our HJ Triple Great Works, and also some events in the end of February, Heavenly Parent. And I hope that each one of us could take part of it and especially could participate in order for us to really support our true Mother. We thank you for everything, and please guide us for this day that we could accomplish great things in accordance with our true parents' view. Thank you for everything, and we humbly offer this prayer with humility and gratitude with our victorious parents. In our name, from and just a blessing to our family. Aju.
Drew. Let us offer our individual prayer. Let us offer our gratitude to our Heavenly Parents, true parents. Kamsahamnida, Heavenly Parents and true parents.
Thank you.
To our beloved Sir Julius for the guidance, and to all our brothers and sisters who shared this morning, and to everyone for joining our morning devotion. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Heavenly Parents, everyone. Bye. Thank you so much. Hello. Kamsahamnida. Bye.
Thank you.
From Korea.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So,
Good morning.
son.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jonathan Ray. Fighting, Ray. Kamusta na? Oh, General,
Same, same lang.
Fight, fight.